With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And off we go from Seattle.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down.
Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Now 2nd and 5.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
Off the option, here's Robinson.
There's a nice move. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Open man is the tight end, John Bates.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Here's Daniels. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
To throw is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game. They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Daniels.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
How about this opening drive? Play number 12 now. This is 3rd down.
They go play action. Daniels. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And Gay knocks this one through. And it's 3-0 Washington. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive.
Here's Darnold. Now that'll be caught by Cup. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
3rd and 4.
Back to throw, Darnold.
That is caught. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 38-yard line.
A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Faking the give, Darnold.
Has it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Darnold. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant from 8 yards out.
And the Seahawks are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a first down.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. That's Samuel, caught left side. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the 43, here's 2nd down and 7. Play action, now it's Daniels. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Daniels looking to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him, but even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Robinson gets the toss on the right side.
They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2.
This offense so far on third down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. Back deep is Steven Sims.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the two of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they found a way to get there to pick up a new set of downs.
Here's Darnold.
Over the middle, finding Smith and Jigba.
And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw is Darnold.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Good call there on first down. And, Brandon, I'm getting better over the years and not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
Off of play action, Darnold.
Across the middle, and this pass complete to Cooper Kupp. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33.
23 yards the pickup there.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
Now a 2nd and 10.
To the air again, Darnold.
Open man downfield is Sims. He's got it.
And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Walker. Going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Myers' kick is good, and they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10.
They begin the drive with Robinson.
And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now Daniels.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
They'll let the QB keep it here off the option.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a 1st down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
To the air goes Daniels.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They run again with Walker. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. That'll be caught. It's Cup. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
2nd and 10. Option play, and they'll give to Walker.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the 1st down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done, down to the 15 from the 21.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now Darnold.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And this one incomplete. Oh, a dangerous throw. Nearly picked off in the end zone, but instead 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Darnold now to throw. Dancing to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Sam Darnold, an 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Daniels.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Second down and 4. To throw is Daniels. This pass complete to McLaurin going across the middle.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Throwing now is Daniels.
Got a man. It's Brown.
7 yards there and a first down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Second and 6.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these 2 have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4. Daniels looking to throw.
And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit.
Gay's kick is good.
And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And the Seahawks offense going to get one final possession in this first half. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to lose yardage. Not that it matters as the final seconds tick away.
So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. Darnold. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
Jonathan Jones there to make the stop. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Darnold. And Walker has it. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a third down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Back to throw, Darnold.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 30.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm, they've been sharp, they've been on it, and they pick up another first down there.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Dietrich Wise Jr. just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Off of play action, Darnold.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they leave a guy wide open. They've got to be counting their lucky stars that this ball was overthrown.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
3rd down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away.
Myers' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Eluding the... And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, yeah, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage. And hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Again, it's Walker.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. From the gun, it's Walker.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He'll get that to Charbonnet.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing, and they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10.
Down at the 31. Here's Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Now to the ground. Here's Walker.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Now it's Darnold. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 4. Now Daniels.
It's complete to Brown, right side.
There at a 1st down.
This has to go down, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on 1st down.
Felton.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
41 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ball game.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Seahawk territory, 10 at the 35-yard line.
To the air goes Daniels. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They go play action. Daniels. Short throw here to the tight end Bates.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Here's Daniels.
Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
To throw is Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Eckler is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington.
It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. Throwing now is Daniels.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Noah Brown, a 5-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Daniels looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
Running on first down, Eckler. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 5 out of 9 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Commanders have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here Otherwise, they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Sticking with Walker on second down.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now Darnold.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Walker hit and the ball is out. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Daniels
hitting Samuel on the slant.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Daniels from the gun on third down. That is caught, and he's going to have a Commanders first down. They needed 5 there on third down. He winds up getting 7.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and a give to Robinson.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
This pass finds McCaffrey going across the middle.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders have taken a fourth-quarter lead.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the fourth quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the fourth quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And out now come the Seahawks.
Now, the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
72 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
faking the give. Darnold.
Throw out wide to Walker.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Walker now on 1st and 10.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
He finds Smith and Jigba.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try for the first with Walker.
Now they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They'll run for it. It's Walker.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Add that one to the good run tally right there. He's been strong throughout this game, and there's no reason to suggest he's going to slow down in the fourth quarter at all. And that's exactly what they need him to do. Keep churning out first downs.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And he gets it down to the 32.
Bottom line, 2-yard gain's just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way.
2nd down, 8 yards to go. Now Darnold. Out right to Smith and Jigba.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Darnold to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Now they can only stop it once more. Here's 1st and 10. Darnold.
This is caught. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow. Wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Extra point up and through by Myers. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now Washington
down by a field goal A little over 30 seconds remaining. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw.
He's got McLaurin, and he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them in bounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
All 3 timeouts remain. How much that'll matter remains to be seen. It's 1st and 10. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
They'll get that one out quickly to Brown.
And Washington now going to use the 1st of their 3 timeouts.
As they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
He's going to loft one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf.
So the first chance of this overtime will go to Washington as we are back underway. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Keeping the aggression going on defense in overtime here, a first down blitz.
You know you can get burned on it big time if they pick it up. But in this situation, they brought the blitz, put some pressure on the QB, and he wasn't able to complete a pass downfield.
Daniels looking to throw.
Being chased out left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, fourth down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return.
And they will take over first and 10.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
Well, their defense, they did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far, Charles. Going to need a significant drive to try to get into position for the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, partner, don't you think that defense is on the sidelines right now saying, don't come to us with your problems about where you're starting. We did the important part. We kept them off the board, kept us in the ball game. Find a way to maneuver it downfield, at least get into field goal range, and get us a win.
The end result, 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to the bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run and then executed.
Out quickly here to Smith and Jigba. Here is third down and 4.
Now it's Darnold.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Javon Kinlaw in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
47-yard punt, a return of 4.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. And the Washington offense heading out. Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is thrown at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
This is Ertz on the pitch and catch, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes those legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. This is a big spot for a rookie QB, and overtime's kind of where you earn your stripes, isn't it?
It really is, and we've talked with enough coaches and players about how these youngsters are getting into the game and playing this at such a high level so early. But overtime, that's an entirely different animal, and he's handling it well.
Yeah, starting to put together a nice drive.
To the air goes Daniels.
This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
Each team's had it in overtime, so next score wins. Here's second down. Now Daniels.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Here's Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here's Tressway now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
A last series form, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Play action. It's Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 9.
To throw is Darnold. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Darnold from the gun. Open man right side is Kupp, complete. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels.
This will be caught. It's Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp.
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Another big play here as they strike for 31.
Just straight money right there. The biggest drive of the game, a chance to win it in overtime. If they've been saving that play, they sure pulled it out at the right time. A huge turn of events there.
On 1st down, Felton. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And I know you with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, 1st round went to the offense, 2nd round the defense.
Third and 3. Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
So it all rests now on the right foot of the kicker, Matt Gay. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights.
And they will be all smiles in Georgetown tonight as Washington has won it. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the fourth quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Seattle, so long, everybody.